fashion means making and selling cheap, trendy clothes very quickly. This is done to match what people want to wear right now, and it is especially popular with the young people. The Cambridge Dictionary states that fast fashion is a clothes that are made and sold cheaply, so that people can buy new clothes often. Big brands like Shein, Zara, H&M are well known for doing fast fashion. However, fast fashion also causes problems like too much waste, bad treatment of workers, and damage to the environment. But while fast fashion meets consumer demand for variety and affordability, its the environmental impact of fast fashion explains the fast fashion manufacturer causes the harm to the environment by contributing to carbon emissions, water pollution, and massive textile waste. Also, it's often builds cheap labor in poor countries where workers can be unsafe and pay very little. The environmental impact of fast fashion comprises non-renewable source emissions of greenhouse gases and the use of massive amounts of water and energy, requiring about 7. Given its widespread effect, fast fashion soon became a topic of global relevance. The impact of fast fashion from environmental, social, and economic perspective is now environmental destruction.
A key economic benefit of fast fashion is its affordability, with consistently decreasing prices driven by consumer demand for lower-priced items due to shorter attention spans and desire for frequent purchases with significant. This is enabled by quick production of affordable versions of luxury designs, making fashion more accessible across all income levels, allowing even those with modest means to afford a sufficient wardrobe through budget-friendly brands. Furthermore, fast fashion boosts economies in both developed and developing nations and encourages international business collaborations. To keep prices low for consumers, manufacturers often outsource production to developing countries. The modern diplomacy states that this globalization expands international markets and strengthens business partnerships, potentially leading to diplomatic advantages. Another benefit of fast fashion is the capacity it offers for self-expression and enjoyment of frequent style changes. Its key aspect lies in its rapid response to new trends, allowing individuals to effortlessly experiment and showcase their evolving personal style. With brands offering a vast selection of style across 52 micro-seasons annually, shoppers have a great ability to choose looks that reflect their current mood or identity. According to Dr. Diane Tiralong, a fashion psychologist, for fast fashion shoppers, the items they buy are an extension of themselves. Shopping is fun and people like to feel good. Fast fashion allows people to do this with incredible ease and speed. Furthermore, the broader size availability, often associated with the large-scale production of fast fashion brands, enhances this ability for diverse individuals to participate in trend-driven self-expression.
One of the most critical environmental consequences of fast fashion is its massive contribution to global carbon emissions and pollution. According to Earth.org, the fashion industry is responsible for around 10% of global carbon emissions, more than the emissions produced by all international flights and maritime shipping combined. This staggering number is due to several factors inherent in fast fashion's business model. Fast fashion relies heavily on synthetic fibers like polyester, which is made from fossil fuels and emits nearly 3 times more carbon dioxide than cotton during production. Additionally, the industry is characterized by rapid production cycles and high consumption rates, encouraging shoppers to buy more clothing than they need, often at the expense of quality and sustainability. The use of energy-intensive processes such as dyeing, finishing, and transporting garments across global supply chain further increases emissions. EthicalConsumer.org also points out that fast fashion thrives on a throwaway culture, where clothes are made cheaply and disposed of quickly, leading to enormous textile waste and ever more emission from landfills. The relentless drive to produce more, faster, and cheaper not only places immense pressure on natural resources, but also accelerates climate change. If current practices continue unchecked, the fashion industry's greenhouse gases emissions could surge by over 50% by 2030. This trajectory highlights the urgent need for a shift towards ethical, circular, and sustainable fashion systems that prioritize the planet over profits. Another major con of fast fashion is its devastating impact on workers' rights, especially in countries that serve as the backbone of garment production, such as Bangladesh, India, Vietnam, and Indonesia. According to EarthDay.org, Millions of garment workers in these nations are subjected to extremely poor working conditions, often being paid poverty-level wages that do not meet even the most basic living expenses. These workers, many of whom are women and girls, frequently exposed to unsafe workplaces, excessive working hours, and are vulnerable to both physical and gender-based harassment. The fast fashion industry thrives on a cycle of rapid production and low costs, which place immense pressure on factories to deliver quickly and cheaply, often at the expense of human dignity and safety. In many cases, labor protections are weak and not enforced, meaning that workers have little to no power to demand better conditions or fair treatment. This exploitation is hidden beneath the glossy marketing and trendy clothing, but it represents a deeply unethical foundation that supports much of the global fashion industry.
Fast fashion is a subject marked by both notable advantage and significant drawbacks. On one hand, it offers clear economic benefits. The affordability of fast fashion allows people across various income levels to have access to trend-driven clothing, contributing to an increase in self-expression and personal satisfaction. Additionally, it also stimulates economic growth by fostering global trade and encouraging international collaboration between developed and developing countries. However, these advantages are overshadowed by the considerable ethical and environmental consequences. Environmentally, fast fashion contributes approximately 10% of global carbon gas emissions, more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. This is largely due to the use of synthetic fiber like polyester, which are petroleum-based and significantly more polluting than natural materials. Furthermore, the models encourages overconsumption and waste, perpetrating a damaging throwaway culture. From a social standpoint, the fast fashion industry has been linked to exploitative labor conditions. Many workers, particularly in developing countries, face poor wages, unsafe environments, and even gender-based harassment. These systemic issues raise serious questions about the morality of supporting an industry that often prioritizes profit over human dignity and environmental stewardship. In conclusion, while fast fashion may provide short-term economic and personal benefit, its long-term environmental degradation and human rights renders it. Overall, the drawbacks significantly overpowered its advantage. What are the solutions that can be implemented to stop the devastating impact of fast fashion? Firstly, clothing makers need to take more responsibility and change how they work. They should aim for a system where clothes are made to last, can be fixed, and eventually recycled into new clothes. They also need to use better materials like organic cotton and recycled stuff to be kinder to the environment. Making clothes in cleaner ways that use less water and energy and don't use harmful chemicals is also key. Secondly, we need more honesty and tracking of where clothes come from and how they're made. If shoppers know the information, they can make better choices and hold brands responsible for treating workers more fairly and protecting environment. Labels should clearly say what clothes are made of and if they meet any green or fair labor standards. Thirdly, governments need to make stronger rules. This includes setting better environmental rules for making fabric, making companies responsible for the waste they create, and maybe even taking things that aren't good for the environment and taxing them on it. Also, rules to make sure garments workers get fair pay and safe working conditions are really important. Fourth, shoppers need to change how they buy. Instead of buying lots of cheap clothes and that don't last, we should buy fewer, better quality items and take care of them so they last longer. We can also support things like buying used clothes, swapping with friends, and renting outfits instead of always buying new clothes. Finally, new ideas and technology can help. This means that finding better ways to recycle old clothes, creating new eco-friendly materials, and using technology to make clothing industry less wasteful. In conclusion, fixing fast fashion devastating impacts means everyone working together. Companies being more responsible, shoppers being more thoughtful, governments setting better rules, legislation, and using new technologies to find better ways. This all combined can help create a clothing industry that's better for people and the planet.